Up in the atmosphere, the levels of carbon dioxide are at their highest in at least 800,000 years. But down in wintry Canberra, we're still arguing about whether it matters.
No more government-funded fraudulent science reports.
At this anti-carbon tax rally in front of Parliament House, the science of global warming is ridiculed.
Perhaps CSIRO should follow the advice of our beloved Prime Minister. Don't write crap. It can't be that hard.
Carbon dioxide, we can't charge tax to God. He's the one that put it here.
Carbon dioxide is not a pollutant.
Why not?
Why not? Because we need it to breathe, the plants need it to breathe.
This protest movement takes a lack of understanding about how carbon emissions warm the atmosphere and amplifies it into a campaign to throw the whole government out at the next election.
What we're seeing today is a distortion of science. We're seeing the damage that it can have. It can topple opposition leaders, it can topple even prime ministers.
It doesn't matter about the science because it's turned into a religion.
It takes more than me to stand up for this. I think all scientists have to say, hang on a second here. We will not be shouted down by the loudest voice or the biggest headline.
There is something insidiously evil going on behind this mask of a carbon tax. Maintain
The carbon tax debate is a lightning rod for a broadside not just on climate science, but on science generally, which concerns the scientific community enough to launch its own campaign.
The Respect the Science campaign aims to help people understand how science is done and really understand the peer review process, so how ideas are formulated, how they're tested and retested.
Anna Maria Arabia heads Science and Technology Australia, the peak body for 62 scientific societies with a collective membership of more than 68,000 scientists.
Scientists are quite concerned about the way their profession is being devalued and, as individuals, how they feel they're under attack.
I think they're intimidated by us.
Why would they be intimidated?
Because I think they sense that we're probably onto something.
Marine biologist Ove Hugelberg is no stranger to climate controversy. A decade ago, his work on coral bleaching warned that a 2-degree rise in sea temperature could wipe out the barrier reef. At a recent visit to Indooroopilly State High School, Ove wants to clear up some of the confusion surrounding the science of global warming.
If you want to prove your hypothesis that it's not happening, you can go and pick those little bits out and ignore the rest. But science doesn't work that way. Good science is all about looking at the complete picture and making a balanced assessment of the change. The trust in science that produces agriculture, medicine, engineering, bridges and so on, that we trust, that's the same science that produces our perspective on climate and on its impacts.
Such trust has been lost here. At the heart of this protest is the notion that the people here can see through the carbon lies because they know better than most of the world's climate scientists. But science is based on evidence, not popular opinion. What next? Let's take a vote on whether the Earth is round? At a similar rally in Sydney earlier this year, that's exactly what Lord Monckton proposed should happen with climate science.
They got the sums wrong. And what we are going to do is get the sums right. And the way we're going to do it is through the ballot box.
And then, this chilling call to arms.
To the bogus scientists who have produced the bogus science that invented this bogus scare, I say, we are coming after you, we are going to prosecute you, and we are going to lock you up.
We're back to the Middle Ages, aren't we? I mean, that's what they tried to do to Galileo. I mean, this is an extraordinary position for my country to be in. I always thought that we would be willing to have an argument, for sure, But sometimes I think, how low can we go?
I personally received a death threat that was quite explicit about how my life would end. Not particularly pleasant things to receive when you're really just getting on with your job.
Are we a subclass of people who deserve this? I don't think so. You know, you sit there and you're doing your email and this thing sort of comes up on the screen. You f***ing communist, die, you must die. The violence in the messages were just, I'm not a sissy, okay? It's shocking. It's just something I didn't think was going to be part of the science career. So the habitable zone is sort of crucial.
But it doesn't deter Ove from his message about the power of science to guide solutions.
This is the big challenge, and your generation's got to sort it out.
A lot of the current debate, it's too political. It's hindering, action on, the real problem, which is long-term sustainability.
The way I see it, when we went to school as kids, it was the communists. All those horrible communists were going to get us. We have to have something to scare people about. Now they're teaching kids in school about this climate change thing.
It's a new concept, really. The whole idea of global warming. Adults are probably still trying to get their head around it, start new discussions, new debates, new ideas. I guess for us, we've learnt about it. We've sort of grown up with this whole debate.
For a layperson like myself, it appears as though the people that are promoting carbon dioxide as a very, very nasty thing are overwhelmingly strong and passionate in their view and not allowing the other side to present a contrary view.
Well, there's actually, an opinion, spin on one hand, and then there's, peer-reviewed science on the other. They're very different. But the public, I think, has got that, that's been hard for them to understand. I'm not surprised that many people are a little confused about where science fits.